Hey everyone, Sandy, the badass business coach here, and thanks for being here, for investing in you, for sharing the podcast with others, just taking the time to just listen or watch the video if you're checking this out on my YouTube channel. But thanks again for being here. And you know what? Here in America, it's the week of Thanksgiving. So Thanksgiving is Thursday. And our motivation is maybe a short week, maybe family and friends, maybe nothing, just time off, right? But I look back at the last 7 years of podcasts, and of course, I think every damn Monday I did the same thing, similar. I mean, I gave some different suggestions and tips, but it's what are you grateful for? What are you thankful for? And you know what? I want to know that because it is the time to reflect. But today I want to shift that because I don't know if it's just because I've been talking to some people and there's been a little funk going on. For me personally, this year has been a little trying of my patience. I've learned a lot about patience this year, but there have been many times where I've had to shift my mindset from ungrateful and frustrated and stressed and overwhelmed to, you know what, I'm just grateful that I can still do an X, Y, and Z, right? So today I'm gonna get you to think about that because there are plenty of you who are either even off work all week or off work Wednesday or Thursday and Friday, maybe just Thursday. I don't know. For those of you who are working retail or working on Black Friday, the day after Thanksgiving, it's I just good luck. That's all I can say. Sometimes it's crazy. It seems like it's been a little bit better the last few years with more online shopping. But I want to get you thinking about what's going on. If you are ungrateful or not as thankful as you feel like you should be, I want you to write down why. Write down what it is you're ungrateful for, what it is that's stressing you out, pissing you off, putting you in a bad mood, overwhelming you. I want you to write all that down. Much like I have you check on your goals, check your progress, make changes, and move forward. I want you to do the same thing here because how can you be fully present, intentional, and 100% all mentally there with your family and friends, or even the football game or whatever you're doing for this week and for Thanksgiving? How can you be fully present if you've got shit in your head that's just chipping away at you, that's just keeping your mind distracted, and you might be just fully distracted and just not even engaged with your family or friends, right? Why did they invite you over? Why did you invite them over if you're not going to give your all, at least 90%, right? And that's the thing, is I don't want you to fake it. Sometimes even I've had to fake it because that's just, I'm not in the mood or something's just bugging the shit out of me. But now I'm like thinking, okay, how about if you write it down? So whatever it is, it's, a client that was unhappy that you're just like, I just can't figure out why, or it upset you that, you made a client unhappy, or they were unhappy with you. What happened? What went wrong? Or is that what you're having trouble figuring out? Okay. Is it something that's delayed, a project or a client coming on board or staff coming on board? Why? Thinking about what's going on. Or did they take a different direction, go in a different direction, right? What else would be pissing you off, frustrating you, you're ungrateful for? Could be your family, could be your other half. I don't know, whatever it is. The weather, the car, maybe it needs repairs. I don't know, maybe you just can't find what it is that's really just, you're off, right? So just write it down. I usually try to keep it to 3 things, but man, it's almost the end of the year. Let's go for it. Just sit down with a notepad. Here's like a yellow notepad. If you could see this on the video, the line was get a notepad, get a little journal, whatever you write in, just go to town. Write down every single thing this year that you can think of, whether it happened 6 months ago, 6 days ago, 6 minutes ago. Write it all down. Everything that's frustrated you, pissed you off, made you sad, unhappy, made you afraid, made you ungrateful, overwhelmed, stressed out. All right. Write it all down. And then next to that, write down what happened. Why did it make you upset? Why did it make you sad? Why did it piss you off? Why did it not get done and frustrate and stress you out? What happened with that? Because a lot of times we do this to ourselves. I talked about impatience a lot. I'm learning patience this year. I've had to learn them a lot, but what are we holding on to that's causing that? Fear, stress, anxiety can cause you to be impatient. And the same could be for why you're ungrateful, right? Maybe it's just disappointment in your life. But anyway, write that all down and think through what happened, why you were feeling that way. And is there anything you can do to shift your mindset, to let it go, or just try to work through it? Is there someone you can talk to? A lot of times we just need to think through something. Maybe it's an email or a text that you got that you're just like, oh, this is just nerving me. This just doesn't fit right. Have someone else look at it, because a lot of times there's so much miscommunication going on that you are reading it differently, because maybe you were in a weird mood or bad mood or, whatever kind of mood when you read it, and it just hit you the wrong way. But this is what I really want. It's like, yeah, let's be thankful. Let's be grateful. What are the top 3 things you're thankful for this year? And I do want to know that. But before we get to that, I want you to take that piece of paper, or maybe the next to it, or take another piece of paper and write down those top 3 things, 3 to 5 things that are really just pissing you off, that are just, you have not been able to work through or let go this year. Put them on a piece of paper, and I want you to wad that paper up, tear it up, stomp on it, drive over it, don't throw it out the window. That's littering. Go out, if you have a fire pit or a grill, set it on fire. See that anger, that frustration, and all that shit getting let go, because now you've shifted your mindset and you're working through it. And then you can be grateful for what's left, for what has happened, for what you do have. And how does this work with business? Because I am the Badass Business Coach, and this is a business coaching podcast. However, life gets in the way of business, and business gets in the way of life. And yeah, there are some people who are great at compartmentalizing. You walk into work and some shit happened at home. The kids went nuts. The wife or husband was like, before you left, you let it go before you walk in the door. Or husband. Because man, I walked into a client's office or got on a client after the man candy just like sent me over the edge. And you got to flip it. You got to let it go, right? Because it's not the person in front of you's fault of what happened behind you. However, it could also be the opposite. What happened at the office or out in public or whatever, that you were able to let go before you walked in home, because when you walk in and it's family time or me time or a friend time, that it's time for them. So yeah, the whole point of this is to get it out before you spend time with friends and family. Even if it's not Thanksgiving, you're somewhere else in the world and you don't celebrate Thanksgiving, or maybe you're here in America and you just don't celebrate Thanksgiving. What are you doing to let go, to be able to be present with the people in front of you? All right. And that's the thing, when you're at the office, being fully present with your client, patient, customer, staff, business partner, vendors, subcontractors, whatever it is, if you aren't fully 100% engaged with who they are and who's in front of your face, then how is that going to make them feel? How is that going to help you continue to build the relationship? Think about that. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to just stop thinking and overthinking sometimes. I just saw a meme on Facebook that was like, oh, hang on a minute, let me overthink this. There are a lot of people out there that overthink, and you listening may be one of them, because it's hard to just shut your brain off. And it's easy to maybe go, oh, okay, let's trick your brain into doing something else. Yeah, that can work for a little bit, but sometimes you got to feel the feels. Sometimes you got to just work through it. And trust me, I did research on this for my fourth book. There is no way around the shitstorm, the mud hole, the whatever. You got to work through it. So whatever's gnawing at you this week or today, whenever you hear this, I don't give a shit what day it is, what month it is, whatever is gnawing at you, pissed you off, frustrated you, overwhelmed you, made you sad, made you cry, made you, I don't know, maybe it made you laugh, but this is more of that, maybe you laughed and just like crazy laugh because you're like, fuck it. What else can I do? Well, write it down and figure out what you can do. Write it down and think about what caused that reaction, that feeling, that in that moment. And then if you need help or you can't figure out how to work through that, contact me, Sandi with an I, Sandi at sandiballard.com. Find me on badassbusiness.coach. I want to help you work through that. But a lot of times just writing it down, writing down the why or what happened, and seeing it differently. Get it out of your freaking brain. Get it out of the shit list, the oh shit list, as I call it. It looks so much different. If you have a whiteboard or those giant Post-it notes, write it on there. I guarantee it's going to look different than it does in your freaking head. So get it out of there. Find out what's making you ungrateful, frustrated, pissed off. And then let's work through how to shift it, how to let it go, not just fake it, push through it. Let it go, work through it, and be the grateful person that I know you are. All right. Feel free to email me, post in the comment section, anything that you're ungrateful for and your why or pissed off and all that. Feel free to share the top 3 things you've been grateful for. And what do? I have a client that every day on her way to work, she'll just say out loud, yesterday, I'm grateful for X, Y, and Z that happened yesterday, or just maybe the whole day was great and she's grateful for it. And she says, I'm grateful for whatever is coming my way today. Even if maybe you have a client that's not so good, or maybe yesterday you had a client that wasn't so great. Maybe you had a bad pain day or a bad day or whatever. But what are you grateful for? Because I can tell you, with this year of bullshit health and setbacks that I've had and off my goals beyond belief, I am still grateful that I've been able to get up to do this podcast. And even though I have not been consistent this year, I'm grateful that I still have what I have. All right. So let's do this. Let's figure it out. Message me, email me, Sandi at sandiballard.com. Let's work on what we're ungrateful for, what's pissing us off, stressing us out, making us sad, mad, all the things, and what happened to cause that. I look forward to hearing from you. Please let me know if I can help. Find me on direct message me, email me. Let's get you through it. Let's work through it so we can let it go and move forward. Cheers.